Okay, you can see the whole board?
Yeah.
We are on chapter 4, and we're starting verbals and participles. If you have not already, stop the video and read pages 61 through 64. Okay? So again, if you have not already read pages 61 through 64, that introduces the chapter. If you don't read it, you're not going to understand this lesson as well. So stop and read that, and then you can continue this lesson. Verbals means it's consisting of words. Participles comes from Latin word participium, which literally means a sharing or partaking. A participle partakes in the characteristics of both a verb and an adjective at the same time. Verb and an adjective, okay? Verbals comes from the Latin word verbalis, meaning consisting of words relating to verbs. Consisting of words relating to verbs. Okay, so we're going to see how a word that looks like it should be a verb is actually describing a noun, modifying a noun. There are a few terms we need to review. The songs in the back of the book. I'm not going to sing the songs, but in the back of the book on page 201, we are going to review the definition of an adjective. It says an adjective is a part of speech used to describe or define the meaning of a noun or pronoun. It answers the questions how many, whose, which one, or what kind. It modifies a noun or pronoun. It modifies a noun or a pronoun. And then we're going to look at song 3-1. Turn to page 209. I'm waiting for you to go to page 209. And we're looking at 3-1. So it's actually on page 208. Adverbial elements. Adverbial elements are the elements that modify a verb. They answer the question how, when, why, and where. The adverbial elements that modify a verb are, there's infinitives, adverbial nouns, adverbial clauses, adverbs, and prepositional phrase. And we have seen all of that. We've had adverbial prepositional phrases. We just worked on adverbial clauses. Adverbs themselves, like how did you walk? I walked slowly. Slowly is an adjective, or slowly is an adverb. Now we're looking at infinitives, and no, we're not looking at infinitives today. Anyway, we're looking at verbals. Okay, next, song number 3-9. Just turn the page. It's on page 210. Verbal. A verbal is a form of a verb that is used as an adjective, noun, or adverb in a sentence. A participle is a verbal that is used as an adjective ending in ed, en, t, or ing. Again, a participle is a verbal that is used as an adjective ending in ed, en, t, or ing. And you would have read about that in your lesson. A gerund, or gerund, however they say it. I've heard it both ways. A gerund is a verbal that is used as a noun, always ending in the letters ing. So a gerund will end with ing. Like a jumping horse. Jumping, you think, would be a verb, but in this case, when you say a jumping horse, you are saying that which horse is it? It's the horse that is jumping. A jumping horse. was fast. Okay, so jumping, that's actually our adjective. Okay, it's describing, it's saying, answering which horse. The horse was, linking verb, fast, that's our predicate adjective. Okay, so that's what it means by a gerund, always ending in ing. An infinitive is a verbal that is used as an adjective, noun, or adverb, and usually starts with the word to. So infinitive is to plus a verb. A verbal is a form of a verb that is used as an adjective, noun, or adverb in a sentence. So I encourage you, look at these new definitions before starting a new lesson. Keep them fresh in your mind, read through them, memorize it. It will help you in the long run. And what it's talking about, like in an infinitive, that'd be I love to jump. So this is to plus a verb, but we look at it and we're like, okay, our subject, this is our subject. I love, and we'll be getting into this later. I love who or what? To jump. This is an example of an infinitive. To plus a verb, to jump. I love to jump, okay? But that is much later. I don't know how much later, but just to kind of give you an idea what they're talking about, okay? But for now, just read the definitions and it will click and make sense later, hopefully. All right, so they gave you several examples on pages 62 and 63 of verbals and participles. Now, we're going to work on analyzing and diagramming a sentence. Analyzing participles is similar to analyzing adjectives. If you want to follow with me, I'm reading on page 64, okay? Sentences to analyze and diagram. Analyzing participles is similar to analyzing adjectives in that modifying lines connect the participles to the noun or pronoun that it modifies. The only difference is that the participles are verbals, and therefore they have a heart drawn around them. If you look on the right-hand side, you can see words with hearts they drew over it to recognize that it's the heart verb, and they're verbal or a participle. Remember, the heart of every verbal is a verb. This will become more important when we get to level 4, when you learn to analyze participle phrases which include objects and or modifiers. In part 1 of your analysis, when you identify phrases and clauses, draw a heart over any verbal within the phrase and clause. In part 2 of your analysis, when you identify principal elements and modifiers, draw a heart over any remaining verbals. Notice how in the analysis of the following sentence, the participle frozen is identified with the heart in part 1, while the other participle, frost-covered, is identified later in part 2. Okay, so we have our sentence. First, we read the sentence aloud. Frost-covered, he shivered under a layer of frozen sleet. Well, when I did my reading in the chapter, I remember them saying sometimes a verbal is separated by a comma, okay? So the order of analysis is phrases, clauses, principal elements, modifiers. Are there any phrases? Any phrases?
Yes.
Yeah, there's 2 phrases.
Of frozen sleet.
Of is a preposition. Under is another preposition. So we have 2 prepositional phrases. So go ahead and label those. Frozen is describing sleet. It's an adjective. It's saying which kind of sleet? The frozen sleet. Oh, what?
Huh.
Frozen is also a verb. So I have to draw a heart over it. Okay? Frozen is a verb, but it's acting as an adjective right there. Which kind of sleet? The frozen sleet. It's not saying that the sleet is freezing. If the sleet is freezing, then the freezing is a verb, right? Okay, under a layer is a prepositional phrase. Layer is the object of the preposition. A is an adjective. It's an article. Got that? Of frozen sleet is another prepositional phrase. Frozen tells us what kind of sleet. So frozen is the adjective element because it modifies a noun. It is an adjective. But it is a verbal because the heart of frozen is a verb. So it really stems from a verb. It's the heart of a verb, so we put a heart over it. Are there any subordinating clauses?
No.
No. So we're going to look at it, read it again. Frost covered, he shivered under a layer of frozen sleet. This sentence is declarative because it is making a statement. This sentence is about he. This sentence tells us he shivered. That's our predicate verb. So shivered is a predicate because it is what the sentence tells about he. Since shivered tells us something about he, we double underline the predicate and write a P above the predicate. It is a predicate verb because it shows action. There is no linking verb because predicate verbs do not need linking verbs, right? And it's not that am, are, is, was, were, be, being, been. It is a predicate verb because it shows action. I said that already. Of frozen sleet tells us what?
Where? What kind of layer?
What kind of layer was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of frozen tells us what kind of layer. So of frozen sleet is an adjectival element because it modifies a noun. It is an adjectival prepositional phrase. Since of frozen sleet, right here, since of frozen sleet tells us, sorry, I lost my spot. Wham! Since of frozen sleet tells us what kind of layer, we draw a straight line down from the preposition and straight over to the arrow, okay? Of frozen. It's right here. It's adjectival prepositional phrase. Under a layer tells us where he shivered, right? It's saying, where did he shiver? He shivered under. This is adverbial prepositional phrase, okay? Frost covered tells us what kind of he. So frost covered is an adjectival element because it modifies a noun. It is an adjective. Since frost covers is an adjective, we are going to draw a line down to describe he, right? Adjective.
Wait, so frost covered?
Frost covered is
Not
describing
frost?
he.
Not covered?
Yeah, it's the whole thing. Frost
The whole
covered. Oh,
shebang.
this is why, because I forgot a
With
hyphen. I forgot the hyphen. Okay, now, what do we know about, well, at least the covered part?
It's covering the frost?
Well, it is a verbal because the heart of frost covered is a verb. So we're going to draw a heart over the word. Covered, right, is an action. It's an action. It's a verb. So the heart of that adjective, the heart of that phrase is a verb. All right. Now I'm going to show you how to diagram this. Verbals are diagrammed in a slightly different manner than nouns. Adjectives or adverbs, even though they behave in the same way, when diagramming a participle that is functioning as a descriptive adjective, we draw a curved line beneath the noun or pronoun that is modifying.
Oops.
Write the participle along the curved line. So there's an example on page 66. I am going to diagram it, okay? It says from the sideline, a few sentences diagrammed previously have included participles functioning as adjectives. We have not distinguished them from other adjectives. I see. they say before we use them as adjectives, but now, and don't worry about it. All right. So we have an SVT, right? Pattern?
No.
I mean SVI. Intransitive verb. Okay. He shivered. Now they're saying our participles should be on a curved line, like our verbals. So here's our verbal. Frost covered. Capital F, right?
Yeah. That looks weird. It's not right.
Our under layer. Under a layer. Now look at this. This prepositional phrase is modifying layer. So we're going to make that off of here. Of sleet. What kind of sleet?
Frozen.
Frozen.
Snow goes right on the mountain tonight.
Okay. Now, when diagramming a participle that is functioning as a predicate adjective, draw a curved line that rests on a pedestal or feet, which is placed on the horizontal line. And I'll show you in your book. I'm not going to write it on the board. Right here. So they're saying, look at this one. Grandpa looked frozen. Does frozen rename or describe Grandpa? It describes Grandpa. But the heart of this word is a verb. So you're going to put it up on a pedestal, slant your line, because frozen, at the heart of that, it is a verb. All right, that concludes this lesson. And my next video I will be doing with you will be lesson A. I'll do a video for that. Also, so you should have this video watched Friday and watch the next videos I make for this lesson before we meet again the Thursday after Thanksgiving. Goodbye.